Coach Chipper.
Hey everybody. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in right at 500, looking to get that win to bump them back above 500.
This game means a lot to them because of what you just talked about. When you can bump yourself over 500, it's a lot of optimism in your building as you move forward in the season.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And we get a here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you. Balance. the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Well, a pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Now let's go!
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back.
Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. There are the numbers last week for J&J. 24 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
Now Wentz firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a nice gain at 21.
I like the screen being called here early in the game. Especially drive because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them. And a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get 1st downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation. But I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
And he connects with Ertz. And he's got this down to the 35. An Eagle first down. Wins to Ertz, and the names that ends in TZ. Nice job keeping that opening draw on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
7th play of this drive coming up. A long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. gets set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Blanchard. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
At first quarter only, but 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Sunday.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
Go. 20.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He gets this one complete to Tre'Quan Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They run with Ajayi. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hang in there now.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So now on 4th down, the Eagles will hand things over to their field goal kicker, and that's Caleb Sturgis. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And listen, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Looking to throw. Blanchard. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Ertz has it left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. An Eagle first down. Wentz to Ertz.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. 6-5-7. 6-5-7. Go. Waiting.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the punt. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Completes it to Ajani. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Hang in there now.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll get it down this time. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Throwing his Wentz. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles add to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Back to throw. Blanchard to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, Gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. To throw on second down. Blanchard over the middle. He's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 3rd and 2, Blanchard. It's caught. Shepard. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you... just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be in goal. Under 4 to go now as the clock, and they come up on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Looking to throw. Blanchard. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Terrell Basham in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. They're able to hold them to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back. Preferably a takeaway.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of the game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're 1 run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Here we go. 120.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that's caught by Smith. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. 20.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Go.
Here's a Giant. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wentz to throw. The open man is Smith. And he's got the first down. Yardage as he takes it down to the 9. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, he really...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure. I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Coach, and you're tuned into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, let's go.
Carry for Darius Geis. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Backers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he'll get it down to the play to the 7. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
From the gun on third down, Blanchard. He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 23 yards on the play. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as it sails over the end line. Now a first down throw. Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing on third down, Keenum. And that's incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Fielded just inside the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Detroit! Detroit!
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Gordon, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Blanchard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Back to throw. Blanchard. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Gun! 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 Gun!
First down. Blanchard. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Looking to throw on second down. Blanchard. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the gun on third down, Blanchard. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive.
Spicy stuff.
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, Keenum. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pick up, 28 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice. Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Keenum to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third play takes place. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the gun on third down, Keenum. He finds his target. It's Crowder. Now Washington going to use 30 seconds to go in the first half. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. This is first and goal from about the 8. From the gun, here's Keenum. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. From the gun, it's Keenum. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Zerline's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And it's the Jaguars.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. On second down, here's Barkley. Whoosh. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Blanchard. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Nice job. Nice patience right there. Put him on the right side. Let him work his way across. Put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
A handoff to Barkley. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go!
To throw on second down. Blanchard. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Giants on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. Over the middle to Beckham. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being greatly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield. Close to the 40, being taken down. 23 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Holding offense.
He was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 11, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, and then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. The Redskins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Zerline's kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And New York set to take the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, Blanchard. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Blanchard. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Blanchard. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Touchdown, Giants! A great play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On 1st down, Keenum. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out. after this. To throw on second down is Keenum. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Landon Collins.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Blanchard. Toward the pylon, caught. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun. Blanchard. And the Redskins do get to it.
He goes down.
Sack. Emerson Griffin. In there to
Drop it for a 6.
loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball, you end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. And his kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there to lead to a new set of downs. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a
couple of scores.
To make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Keenum now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of victory formation. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoffs.